Hey y'all, Stacy here. Thank you so much for joining me for my warm reviews of the 10 new release wax bars coming to Scentsy's fall winter lineup September 1st, 2025. I've been able to melt these in multiple locations and do a little bit of playing around with them. I think I have some fun thoughts to share and I can't wait to get into it. There are definitely some hits and misses for me, and I can't wait to hear about your thoughts. As a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy Warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. Now, I try and always mention at the top of my videos, I do typically keep my warmers on for 15 hours a day, and when I'm doing these reviews, I leave the wax in, whether I love it or hate it, until I can smell nothing anymore. I want to also take a moment to say every sniffer really does differ, and this is a collection that I am going to have some very definite misses along with some wonderful hits. And just because I love something doesn't mean that you're going to love it, and just because I don't enjoy something doesn't mean that you're not going to like it. So I'm going to do my best to describe what I smelled, and you can discern for yourself whether or not it's something that you might be interested in. And if you've already tested these, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, even and especially if they differ from mine. Golden Sunflower lists with scent notes of red apple and hay and picked sunflowers, and with scents like hayride and, oh, what was the golden garland? This just felt very boring to me on cold sniff. Yeah, even still on cold sniff, highly underwhelmed by the way that this smells, just because I felt like, why did we move some things out of the catalog to bring this one in? And I have to say, on warm, my mind changed completely. And there are two reasons for that. If you've heard my reviews of Golden Garland before, you know it is a scent that I loved in my open concept, but I really could not enjoy in my smaller closed concept or in bedrooms. Golden Sunflowers, I first tested in my open concept, and it was beautiful. I was so amazed at the dimension of the hay and the sunflowers along with the red apples. Like, I got those dimensions, and I felt like I was also picking up a unique combination of things that we've smelled before, but not in this way together. So for me, I was picking up more of the kind of earthen and gritty notes that you get in a golden garland scent, but it also had the brightness and kind of the liveliness that hayrides has. So it's a beautiful and unique combination. And happily for me, in my open concept, it was a beautiful medium throw, and I didn't experience a drop in what I would consider the intensity, which was also medium, until about the 14-hour mark. And I really didn't think it was going to come back for day two, but it did. And I got a full second day at a lighter side of medium throw and intensity, but still a beautiful scent that carried throughout my open concept for 2 days. So that's thrilling. Then I tested it in my bedroom and my closed concept living, and the results were the same. 2 beautiful days, medium throw, medium intensity day one, medium throw, medium to light intensity day two. Let's talk about Emerald Pear Blossom. Now it says it's juicy emerald pear, white cranberry, and amber blossom. I did this first in a bedroom with just 2 cubes, and I have to say, 2 cubes really filled the space in this bedroom. I got a nice medium throw and a medium intensity. The thing to me about this description is I don't really identify this as a juicy scent. It is definitely a pear-based scent, but it reminds me more of like a Bartlett pear. It's not a dried pear. It doesn't smell like potpourri at all. So I do think that it smells like a pear, but it just doesn't lean juicy to me at all. And maybe that will change over time. But to me, this pear presented much more like the pear that is in whipped vanilla pear. So honestly, I feel like a bedroom is a perfect place for this. The amber blossom combined with maybe that hint of white cranberry really provides, it's not a perfumey balance, but it's just, it feels like a delicate bedroom office melt. Now, I did also melt this in my office space and in my kitchen. And in both of those spaces, it threw beautifully. So I got a medium throw. In my kitchen, I only got a medium throw, medium intensity for one day. In my office, I got a medium throw, medium intensity for 2 days. And in that bedroom, I got medium throw, medium intensity for 2 days. So this is a beautiful, approachable, fruit forward scent that I think will provide a nice respite from those heavier, spicier scents, particularly in the winter. Now, Old Fashioned Evening, you guys, I love this one. Just a spoiler alert, I love it. It's got all things that I love in it. It's got cherry, vanilla orchid, and sandalwood. I have just really loved this thing. Now, I started out melting this in my open concept, and I anticipated it to present like maraschino sugar cookie or potentially like cherry's jubilee. And both of those I enjoy. I prefer maraschino sugar cookie because I do like bakery. There are no bakery notes in here, but sometimes cherry scents can lean sort of cough syrup. And happily for me, this did not. The complexity of this scent, it's just a cuddle. It is a warm cuddle. I know there's another scent named blanket in here, but this to me was such a beautiful open concept melt. I got a full beautiful day all the way up, I would say, until like hour 13. And then I felt it trailing off, and I thought, it's going to be a wonderful one day scent because that's what I anticipate from cherry fragrances. But then I let it play out just to see what happened on day two. And I walked out, and when I tell you it smelled like cherry, that was a scent of the season last year. I really enjoy it. I have it in my club. And if this holds true, I think I am going to drop cherry from my club. I love kind of the more perfumey cherry aspect of cherry, but to me, this is like a 2 for 1 because I feel like you get this sort of cozy blanket of a homey scent that, while it's not bakery, makes me think more of like a maraschino sugar cookie day 1. And then day 2, in my open concept, I get cherry, which I love. And that's one of my favorite office melts. So, my second day, I melted this in my office, of course, to see if I got the same result. And happily I did. It is a very cozy scent. It has this homey vibe to it. It's not bakery, it's not spicy. It's just cozy and beautiful and warm and sweet without being cloyingly so on that first day. And then on the second day again, and I got Cherry, which is a more perfumey leaning, but still beautiful cherry scent. So I'm thrilled with this one. I feel like it's a 2 for 1, and I cannot wait to get some more of it. Okay, you guys. So now Buttered Pumpkin Dream. I don't know that I could call this a dream. I wouldn't call it a nightmare. Well, maybe. No, no. But I would not call it a good dream. That's for sure. At least not for me. Yeah, so there is a scent that comes to mind. And if you do not want to hear something that you might find objectionable, um, I will put a timestamp here for where you can jump to miss my thoughts on this particular bar. For me, this does have almost like a citrus scent to it, even though it doesn't list that. It's buttered pumpkin spice with chestnuts and cedarwood. And I do not pick up the cedarwood. And maybe what I'm determining as this sort of citrus note is the cedarwood. But to me, this smells just like not a citrus that is used for like the flavor of citrus, but like a preservative type citrus. Like, have you ever opened up one of those like cinnamon buns that's like prepackaged and there's like a push of this kind of uh, preservative leaning citrus? That is what I get as the dominant note of this bar the entire time that it melts. It's very consistent from start to finish. Now, I did melt it in multiple locations because I just wanted to see it was able to perform in my open concept. And this scent went for 3 days. So if you love it, I think that's great news because I feel like it is a dominant and prominent bakery scent if these notes hit for you. And I'm curious to see. I am going to hold on to these two pieces and see if it changes over time as it ages. But I also melted this in a bedroom And man, it's the same for me. So that's not one for me. Happily, there are 10 cents, and we're moving on to the next one. This is frosted marshmallow. Now, it lists with frosted marshmallow, buttercream, and sparkling cinnamon. I don't know about sparkling cinnamon. Sometimes I try and read too much into their wording, but I will tell you that this is such a cozy scent. The first day that I melted this, I did 2 cubes in my primary bedroom because I love buttercream scents, but I often cannot smell them and I cannot smell them for a long period of time. This will probably shock some of you, but I really struggle to smell vanilla bean buttercream. I struggle to smell cinnamon buttercream. And this is one of the first buttercream scents from Scentsy that I can pick up all those notes. I definitely get the pillowy marshmallow, the buttercream frosting, and the cinnamon, and they are just perfectly balanced to me. I do think the cinnamon exists in equal measure to the buttercream. So if you are a person who is sensitive to cinnamon, this is probably not going to be something that is warm and cozy to you. But to me, in the bedroom, this was an amazing scent. It is a medium throw with, to me, a medium intensity, particularly in my primary bedroom. And I got a full 2 days in my primary bedroom. Even more amazing to me with this bar is when I took it to my office and my closed concept living. Now, I did use 4 cubes in my office where typically I use two. Um, but sometimes, I hate to say typically, but there are some scents that I would use four, and this is a scent that I would use four in both of those spaces, whereas in my bedroom I was able to just use two. But it is a beautiful, sweet cinnamon that is not overly sweet, not overly spicy. It is just a perfectly cozy bakery scent to me, and the performance is amazing. And we'll talk about in a minute that I also did some blending with this bar, and it blends like a champ. Like it is a superhero in just about 2 minutes. We will revisit its magic, but for now, let's talk about white pine linen. Now, this is a laundry scent to me, straight up. It lists with crisp air, subtle lavender, clean linen, oak moss, and white pine. And it's a beautiful green color, and you do get these kind of woody resinous notes. They're definitely there, but for me, the dominant two notes are clean linen and white pine. And the white pine is very reminiscent to me of the pine that exists in Christmas Cookie. Now, that is a scent from last year that's come to the catalog. And if you recall my reviews of it, it's not my favorite. I do plan to revisit it just to make sure I still feel the same way, but it's a very, to me, air freshener, pine sol leaning, astringent scent. Now, I do think maybe the oak moss and the lavender in here is helping to create a more woody effect, but it just to me makes it seem like a more natural cleaner. It does not seem like it is an atmospheric scent or presentation to me at all. And when you combine that with the clean linen, it is just sharp in such a way that even though I got 2 beautiful days out of this, and I would say it's on the strong side of medium in intensity and a nice medium throw, it was overwhelming to me in my living room space with 2 cubes. It did go for 2 days, and I feel like if you are a lover of laundry, that this is one to definitely try. But for me, I wanted to try a mix, and so I ran towards the frosted marshmallow. I know this can seem like an odd combination, but I do find that sweet sugars, blue sugars can soften linen scents to me that are just a little too sharp. So the frosted marshmallow has cinnamon in there that I think blended beautifully with kind of the oak moss and lavender notes that exist in white pine linen. And it provided a nice balance to me that made it more palatable. And then, in my opinion, I took it a little too far and I got the scents of the season peppermint flurries out, which is, you can watch my reviews on it. It's a wonderful blender. For me, though, the peppermint did not do enough to help soothe kind of that clean linen sharpness, especially with that white pine. So, I mean, it was there. The peppermint was present and it held its own to the white pine linen, but it just did not ease kind of the eye-watering aspect for me. Whereas frosted marshmallow certainly did. But I think those are two amazing blenders. The flurries and the frosted marshmallow, and I'm going to enjoy them all season, I know. Now, Lavender Woods, this lists as delicate lavender and cedarwood with amber. And this is another example of honestly cedarwood that I can't find in a scent, which it's a bit of a bummer to me because like I loved cedar cider that was removed from the catalog. And so it's sad to me to see these kind of bars that are blended in a way that I just can't even identify the cedarwood in the scent. Lavender wood is itself, I don't want to talk too much about other than to tell you I did try this in my closed concept living, in my office, and in a bedroom. And in none of those places, even going up to 4 cubes in one space and 6 cubes in another, which is like more than double the amount of wax that I would normally use, I could not get fragrance off of this. I can smell it on cold a little bit. And if I stick my nose right in the warmer, I can get a little bit of fragrance, but it's primarily the amber that I'm smelling. I really don't get any lavender, don't get any woods. I don't know if it's the bars that I received, but for me, lavender woods is just not a scent that I can smell at all. And that's really sad because on the kind of based on the notes, I thought this would be one that I would be really into, but as of now, I just can't smell it. Now on to a subtle scent that I can smell. This is white oak and woodland, and I was really pleased with this scent. I did find that it was a little bit crumbly when I was kind of placing this in warmers. So that was interesting, but it didn't seem to impact performance. But that's the first time I've had sort of a crumblier bar. And this lists with plum and I think sandalwood and white oak. So simple notes, but a beautiful presentation to me. I would say this is a medium throw and a lighter side of medium intensity. On cold, when I initially smelled this, it did lean soapy to me, and so I was a little bit ambivalent. It reminds me a lot of the way that kind of white amber antique would it presented soapy to me on the front. These notes are a little different. Um, just kind of the tones that the oak brings out versus the teak to me is different. And the plum in here does, it's not discernible to me as a plum, but it does kind of sweeten this fragrance a bit. But it's just a beautiful neutral fragrance that to me was wonderful in my office space. And this is one that when I was melting it in my office, I had some folks come into the office and they were like, "Oh, I love this fragrance." So it's neutral in a way that I think is crowd pleasing. And if you like the, I would say, even if you like kind of neutral leaning driftwoods, if you like white amber antique or any of those types of bars, this is a fun new variation on that. And it was a really good performer. This is one that I got 3 days on in my office, and that's beautiful to me. Now, I will say in my, like, home bedroom and closed concept living, I only got 2 days. Same performance, same, kind of subtle presentation, but it's very present in the space. So, it's a good one to try if you like those sort of elegant, subtle fragrances. Now, of the newer subtle fragrances, Velvet Cashmere Woods is one of two that packs a nice, robust punch while remaining soft and soothing. This is a beautiful cashmere wood scent. It's got cashmere, vanilla, and sheer woods. And that's a combination that it's not uncommon. So if you are in the fragrance space and you have experienced like lots of different candles or body sprays or things like that, these sort of sheer vanilla woods type scents with cashmere are fairly prevalent. So this is not something new, but it also feels familiar. Now, I know it's new to this catalog, but for me, it doesn't take any big, bold swings, but that's okay because it is a beautiful, nuanced bar. It's like if you're going to do a classic, do it well. And I feel like they really have done this kind of classic scent profile very well. For me, I got 2 cubes in my bedroom for the first melting. I got 2.5 days where I liked the nice medium throw, and I would say medium intensity. It's a beautiful scent, and it is a scent that then I also melted in my office space and again closed concept living, and I got consistent performance there. It's just a beautiful vanilla woods scent. and its performance is good. So I have no complaints there. And I don't necessarily need every scent to take a big swing. I do miss some of the kind of cashmere leaning and vanilla bedroom type scents that have left the catalog, but I appreciate this for what it is. And I don't think this classic scent profile exists in the catalog, so I'm glad to have it. I will say, in Scents of the Season, Sweet Christmas Lily is a bar that has this same sort of lotion bedroom vibe, but it adds some complexity and layers that just don't exist in this bar. So, something to keep in mind if you like this bar, you may also like that one in Scents of the Season. Last but certainly not least, Blankets of Love. Now, this is a bar that is also, to me, kind of, yeah, it's a softer, subtle fragrance, but it does develop on warm in a beautiful way to me. Something I have to let you know off the top, though, is I did this in that same bedroom and I needed to double my wax. So, where I could typically use 2 cubes, I needed 4, and I had to double my wax within like the first 30 minutes because I could smell the fragrance and it was beautiful, but I was not getting the throw that I wanted. But when I doubled my wax, I was able to get the throw that I wanted along with the kind of warm, beautiful intensity. And I know it's silly to say warm because this is not spicy. There's nothing spicy in here. It's just, it is a comforting cotton scent. So it is kind of like, it's like a fuzzy fleece without any sharpness. It's so inviting. it is just like a blanket and I love it. So this is one of those bars that it's kind of hard for me to describe because it's not like it's one where you don't know it's in the air. You can definitely smell it, but it is just this comforting, enveloping scent. And for me, it's not a deal breaker if I need to use double the wax to get that kind of performance. And the other thing that I will tell you is this bar easily and handily in that same bedroom got into 3 days with those 4 cubes. Now, it started to wane on, I would say, the last maybe 8 hours of that third day. So the intensity dropped a little bit, but I could still pick up all of these cozy, beautiful notes. And I'm excited to see how this bar ages. So it's a really great performer. And I would say if you liked Forever Flannel, even cozy cardigan, but it's a nuanced, more neutral take, but it's beautiful. And I also think it's going to be a good mixer. Now, what are my 6 best in show? I got to say, hands down, Old Fashioned Evenings takes my top spot. Like a 2 for 1. The way that I love the presentation that this gives me the first day, and then the fact that it hangs around for a second day is just, it's a win to me. So I'm very excited, and it's definitely the bar that I'm the most excited about. But a very close second is gonna have to be Frosted Marshmallow. I am so excited that there's a buttercream scent that I can smell. And I feel like the cinnamon in here is beautiful, even for folks that, if you're feeling bold, even if you don't like cinnamon, I would give this a try because it is a beautiful, warm fragrance. And I think it's going to be an outstanding blender. In my third place spot, I'm going to go with Golden Sunflower Fields. This one really surprised me, and I love its presentation in both open concept and closed concept. I feel like it provides a layer of complexity and a new spin on some scents that we're very familiar with, and that sets it apart. Now, Blankets of Love and Velvet Cashmere Woods are duking it out for fourth and fifth place. It's really hard for me to decide. Ultimately, I am going to lean towards Blankets of Love getting my fourth place spot because I just don't think, at least in Scentsy Land in the catalog, there's anything that kind of fits the space that Blankets of Love fills up, at least for me, in kind of just the scent profile that it hits. But I do love and enjoy them both. My sixth place spot is really hard to fill, and it's not because I don't like to, it's because I do like to. I really like Emerald Pear Blossom, and I also like White Oak and Woodland. Now, Emerald Pear Blossom, I feel like we don't have this type of present pear. And with White Oak and Woodland, I feel like we've more recently had this type of presentation in a bar where you have this nice kind of oaky, neutral bar, but I don't I don't know. I don't think we have it in any other bars that currently exist in the catalog. So if I think they're both important. So I kind of want to make it a top 7, but if I was thinking for myself, I I'm going to give the 6th place spot to Emerald Pear Blossom. But I think there's definitely some folks for whom they will likely be missing the kind of subtle woodland bar that is crowd pleasing. So I don't know. I feel like it fills a need that is missing in the catalog. So let's just make it a top 7, yeah? I will say, I know that there are going to be some folks that love wild pine and linen, and I apologize up front if you love Butter Pumpkin Dream and you made it this far. And if you can smell Lavender Woods already, I am so jealous. Maybe with a little cure time, I'll be able to smell it too. I hope so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear in the comments below, what are you most excited for out of these 10 new release bars? And if you've had a chance to melt them, which were your favorites? Talk to you soon.